All right, Barton, let me throw something that we had a conversation about it. Now that it's solidified, because me and Rob disagreed. He obviously had to pick Pacers in 6. I had Thunder in 5. They won, but it was in 7. And I started to look at this team, how they're comprised, and I'm like, man, this team has the making, and credit again Sam Presti for the way they comprised it with some draft picks that weren't that high, some guys who just understand their role and they play hard. And then you obviously have to have a guy, right? You're not going to win anything if you don't have a guy, and SGA is their guy. MVP candidate the last few years, obviously won it this year. And then J-Dub looks like he might be the Scottie Pippen, if you will, for this team. Now that's a bold statement. We got to wait and see. But he has the makings of a great, good to great second player. But I'm looking at this team. When you show me that you're defensive-minded, that's a massive green flag, if you will. When you have a guy who can just put up 30 and boringly in his sleep, that's a great.
No, that's what happens when you watch his post-game interviews. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
well, but any of their post-game interviews, all of them.
And I know this affects me disproportionately because of the day job, so I actually
You have to hear.
I've heard 20 minutes of
Yeah.
OKC post-game
I'm
after
sorry to
winning
hear
a title.
that. That sounds like a punishment.
Man, I'd rather
Tell us the security coach. I ain't never gonna tell you. Put on the OKC post-game press conference. I tell you everything you want to know.
I'm snitching.
I'll be snitching on everybody if you say put the headphones on and make them listen to OKC press conferences. I'll tell you everything. But I think this team is gonna go on the minimal, Martin. The minimum to me is a Boston the J run. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, where we're 5-6 years Eastern Conference. We went to a finals. We won one. We lost one. But had a run where they were like always in the mix. And, again, walked away with the championship. Stands for injury. We don't know what would happen. And obviously the Knicks were up even with Jason Tatum. So I want to make sure I give the Knicks credit. But to me, that's the minimum run where we're in Western Conference Finals. We get to a finals or 2 or 3. We win 1 or 2. That's the minimal run to me that I expect this team to be on. To win with at least one more, now that they won since yesterday, I expect one more title and for them to be at least competing for a handful of years. I think they're built well. When I see 2 wings like that who are defensive-minded but can also score, you got Chet who's only going to get better. And again, you got the perfect pieces around him. And again, a Sam Presti who's been masterful throughout his tenure. I expect them to win one more minimally and to be in that mix over the next, we'll call it half a decade, 5 years or so.
So I would say the J run is one that I don't think – I hear the way you're contextualizing it right now, but I don't think in the moment anybody was thinking that they're on a run, right? Because they weren't winning championships, and they to the point they would even bump out of the finals or not make the finals, right? Not win the West or East. I think that's the most likely outcome, that this team competes for a while, is up there, but like the idea – I heard Tim McMahon saying it on the Hoop Collective podcast, asking Iman Shumpert after the game, over under 2.5 championships for this team going forward. And Shumpert said, absolutely not. I'm taking the under. And McMahon was surprised. I think that is a layup to take the under 2.5. When you look at just throw the random natures of injury aside, because had it been SGA's Achilles instead of Tyrese Halliburton's Achilles, I don't think we're having this conversation in the slightest. And that could happen for any player on any play. So take that and just put that to the side, because obviously we hate to watch that. But also the realities of the NBA are this. Only one of those guys has been paid at any level of substance. What happens to the whole, and again, I know I'm the one, America, that has listened to all of this postseason, all these press conferences, where all they talk about, Kelvin, is how much they like each other and how much they spend so much time together, and how Lou Dort is SGA's roommate. Yep. SGA, mind you, who is married with or has a child and a whatever. Woman, right. Right. I don't know what it is, but she's taking a finals trophy picture with him. So I'm clearly he's claiming her in public, right? So they live together. All right. Yeah. So all of that. And Lou Dort apparently lives there or something. And Jalen Williams picks them up to go to the airport, right? So what happens then? When Jalen Williams here's all the stuff that people keep talking about, how they call him Scottie freaking Pippen, which, by the way, is insanity. I'm not going for it, but y'all keep saying it, so he's going to hear it. And he goes up into Sam Presti's office and says, no, Scottie Pippen needs the full max. I'm the one that went for 40 in a finals game.
Yep.
Your MVP didn't do that. Like, and I'm just what happens when Chet Holmgren says, you've got two guys already ball dominant. I'm the one that blocked 5 shots in the Game 7 of the finals. It sealed the backside of this defense. I'm the one that's not repeatable on this. I'm going to need the full max here. What happens when one of these guys, when Cason Wallace, who was a high recruit, Kentucky starter, and I'm not saying that any one of these individual guys has any of this in them, because they all across the board have been all about the power of friendship. But I'm saying this. When that bag comes calling, money changes, folks. Chet says, wait a minute, I had 5 blocks in a Game 7 of the finals. What do you mean? I've only played 110 games. You need to see more out of me? Like that all of those things will come into play. And when you have this team that is so tight-knit and is so, like, there's not been one single person who's talked about a business reality in Oklahoma City for the last 2.5 years, because none of them have had to pay any money. Like, the business reality that they were going through is we're building up these young players. They're about to get to the business reality if we're not going to be able to keep them all.
But here's my take, or my thought to what you're saying. So prior to the last little run we're on with these separate, different individual champions, I would agree with you if all of a sudden we were dealing with a Warriors team that was Kevin Durant, Clay, Steph, that whole name. Like, dude, for about a 4-year run, we all went, all right, who you got coming out the East? LeBron, and whether it be LeBron and Kyrie, LeBron and whom, Matthew Dellavedova, just LeBron. Put LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals, or the representative of the East in the Finals. And then who got in the West? Okay, give me the Warriors. Like, that was what we had. And the reason why I see this, when you look at this West, especially if we get to the East, too, that's a conversation for later on in the week. There are no behemoths, which to me, right now, why they can be in the winning season. I get what you're saying. Eventually, dudes might want to get paid and want to get paid more. That can come soon. But right now, to me, this is when the iron is hot and you can strike if you are the Thunder. Also, we have seen before, and it's not quite apples to apples, but when we saw Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron, all better players, relatively, maybe SGA because he's an MVP could say how I'm up there with them, but better players.
Stop it. No. They're all better players, and that's it.
Right.
Stop, period,
well, I'm saying
keep going.
SGA could have a say. But they're all better players, is my point. They're all leaders of their individual teams, right? The Cavs, the Heat, and then the Raptors. And they all got together. Now, the money was way different then because it was $15 million, but we know where that would be now. But they all took haircuts to say, man, let's come together. Let's see what we can do for a 4-year run and see if we can get something done. These dudes are coming in incredibly young, Martin. And if they say, let's just go on another, 3-year, you sign this, because then we're going to be 26, 7, 8. We got the rest of our life to make crazy, stupid money. Let's just go on another 2, 3 to 5-year run and see if we can go out, how many we can win together. And then at that point, you can be 28-year Chet.
Like, that's my thing, because that's my point. You said, and I cut you off, and I wasn't trying to, but
no,
it's because, like, we have the Scottie Pippen, Jalen Williams conversation. Oh, the SGA, Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade. It's like those guys, like the guys that we're talking about, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron James, are, and I know the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, everybody gets in there, but they are top of the line for their class Pro Basketball Hall of Famers. If there was an NBA Hall of Fame, they would not be the ones that were left off of the list, right? And when you talk about these other teams, you're talking about some of the best players in NBA history. Chet Holmgren has played 114 NBA regular season games, and these guys are in year 3. You're going to play, and I get it, that you want to pay them because they're homegrown, they're talented, but you know what, though? Like, so was Michael Porter Jr. And when they offered him that big deal, I know that the CBA switched up on everything, but they wish they hadn't. Mm-hmm. They wish they had right now, and you don't have to put a lie detector on people in Denver to find that out. Right? And so partly, though, is because they won. Chet Holmgren was horrible in this NBA Finals. Horrendous. And you could make the argument that you should have played Hartenstein that much more.
They're definitely fair point at
that
times.
That argument not coming around during contract negotiations or from his side of things. Mm-hmm. Jalen Williams was minus 40 in one of these games. It's like, are you sure that you better be sure, I should say it like that. You better be sure